Is there any bit of you in any of the characters?
I think there's a little bit of me in all of the characters. Like, Warner is, like, obsessed with, like, clothes and stuff. I think he inherited that from me. And he has, like, I describe his closet in really thorough detail in the third book, and that's basically just, like, the closet that I want. So, it's really, his closet is important. I don't just, like, you know, wax poetic about his closet for no reason. But yeah, I think, you know, as writers, we kind of steal from a little of everything. Like Kenji's, you know, so much of his antics are inspired by my brothers, and I think there's a little bit of a lot of people that I know and love, and everybody that I write about, all the characters I write about.
Have you ever done something crazy for research? Because the reason I ask is Holly Black once locked herself into the trunk of a car to find out what that was like. So, have you ever done anything like that?
No, I have like nothing interesting to say about it. I wish I did. People always ask me because she's crazy. Juliet's completely insane in the first book, especially, and everyone's always like, "Did you do like serious research into mentally unstable people and like, you know, did you visit like mental asylums and like talk to psychos and how did you get her so crazy so well?" And I'm like, "Oh, I guess that was just me." It's really awkward. No, I didn't do any research. You know, it's a little uncomfortable that they think I did that well. So.
All right, who would win in the fight, Juliet or Katniss?
Oh. Well, if Katniss has any skin showing, Juliet's just, "Hi Katniss, how you doing?" But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Juliet, it depends on what stage of Juliet we're talking about. Sorry, I totally just touched you and made your personal space.
All right. You're not like Juliet.
No, I don't share any of her crazy qualities. Juliet, in the beginning of this book, I mean, she would be like, "I don't want to hurt anyone, ever." And Katniss would just be like, "Here's my bow and arrow in your face." So, I don't know. I love Katniss. I kind of want her to win.
All right, between Juliet and Vampire Bella, Twilight. Because she's really fast, she can run away.
Well, are we talking about Bella at the end of the series?
Yep.
Okay, so then let's talk about Juliet at the end of the series. Juliet would win, for sure. No offense. I'm sure Bella's very nice.
Any questions from... Har ni några frågor? Det är bara att ropa högt.
What she said.
No questions? All right, I'm gonna check on my cheat sheet. If you had a power or ability, what would it be?
Oh. I want the ability to eat cake forever. No, that's not true. I'd want the ability to eat lots of things forever and not ever have to worry about working out. That would be great. Also, I'd want to fly. It's the cliche answer, but it's pretty awesome.
Do you have any tips? I don't know, maybe someone here wants to be a writer, an author. Do you have any tips? How did you come about being published?
Are any of you guys aspiring authors? Yeah? Don't be shy. Me too. It's totally okay. It's a safe space. I think publishing is a crazy industry because you spend so much time writing a book and you're like, it's your blood, sweat, and tears, your heart and soul put into this manuscript, put into words, put on a piece of paper. And you're like, I've created this thing and it's like my baby, it's my child. And then you put a price tag on it. And you're like, now I'm going to sell my child to people. And it's like, it's kind of weird and it's a little difficult. And then people are like, your child's ugly and stupid and kind of fat. And like, you just have to be like, thank you for your business. I mean, it's like, it's hard. There's a lot of rejection in the industry and, you know, it's really rewarding, but you have to like have a thick skin and I think what's really incredible about that is the process of getting to be a published author prepares you for that. Because I think the first critics we have to face are ourselves. when you're sitting down with that blank page and you're like, I have to put a story together, and there's some voice in the back of your head telling you that you're not good enough, that you're a crappy writer, that you're never going to be able to finish, that you're wasting your time, that you're never going to make any money, that your friends think you're stupid, that you have a full-time job, and why are you, you know, spending all your free time with a computer and imaginary characters that you're kind of halfway in love with, let's be honest. And like everyone else is outside like living a real life. I mean, it's kind of hard. You have to like fight those fears and face those demons and tell yourself that you are good enough and remind yourself that it's okay to write a bad book. I wrote 5 manuscripts before I wrote Shatter Me, and all of them were pretty bad. Very bad. Yeah, they're very bad. And but I feel like, you know, if I'm being very honest, every single one of those manuscripts taught me how to write. It got me to the place where I needed to be able to write a book that felt like a finished product. And like the first book taught me how to write. It gave me the confidence to know that I could write a book, that I could sit down and write a 500-page novel that was terrible, but it had a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it was complete. I mean, writing that many pages in and of itself is a pretty big feat. It's a pretty huge accomplishment, and it's more than most people will ever do. So I think you should congratulate yourself just on that. If you've managed to write a book, that's pretty amazing. If you've managed to write 100 pages, that's pretty amazing. So you have to like recognize that what you're doing in and of itself is pretty incredible, and it's not what most people do. You're sort of straying from the path that most people take, and it's scary because it's not really encouraged. It's not really promoted. People tell you that being a writer is not going to really get you anywhere, or that, you know, like I tell people that I'm a writer because people always ask me what I do, like wherever I am, the grocery store, the dentist, lady's like cleaning my teeth, and what do you do for a living? And I'm like, yeah, I'm a writer. And they're like, oh, that's cute. You know, like, good luck with that. I hear self-publishing is like a thing now. Like maybe someone will buy your book, maybe. And I'm like, yeah, well, it's in a bookstore, so if you wanted to, you could buy it. And then they're like, oh, you're like a real writer. And like, how did that happen in 2 seconds? Like, I went from being embarrassing to like, oh, I respect you. It's like, that's ridiculous. I mean, I really believe the difference between a successful and an unsuccessful person is time. If you hang in there long enough, if you push hard enough, and you believe in yourself, even when nobody else does, I mean, you're gonna get somewhere. You really will. It's just a matter of time. And I know it's really cliche, but the best advice I could ever give anybody who's trying to be an author is to never give up, because a lot of people are going to discourage you. You're going to discourage yourself, and you're going to be looking for an out, and you just have to believe in yourself and keep pushing forward. You can always edit a bad book. You can't edit a blank page. So
keep at it, basically.
Yeah.
You mentioned you read a lot. Do you have a favorite book? And what are you reading now? Sorry.
Favorite book ever of all time?
Well, favorite book that you can think of right now?
Oh, The Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. I love Dr. Seuss. One of my favorite books. And everybody always laughs at me when I say them, but I'm very serious. I think Dr. Seuss is a genius. I love Shel Silverstein. They're two of my favorite authors. I'm also, you know, I love the stuff that most people love. Love Harry Potter. Harry Potter is my life. Still waiting for my letter to show up. Pretty sure it just got lost in the mail somewhere. And Jane Austen, she's awesome. A lot of people give her a hard time because they think she's like a sappy romantic writer. Totally wasn't. She was making fun of everyone and no one noticed. She's pretty brilliant, like awesome, strong lady. And so, I mean, I read like, you know, a lot of classics, lots of stuff. I read a lot of nonfiction, memoirs, that kind of thing. Currently, or like the last YA novel that I read and loved is, it actually just came out in Sweden, I believe, recently. And he's going to be here tonight. I think he's talking after me. Ransom Riggs, Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. It's amazing and brilliant and beautiful and so moving, and you should read it.
He's here at 7 o'clock.
You should stay and talk to him. He's really tall.
It's scary with tall people. I'm so short.
Yeah, me too. I'm wearing fake height right now. I'm vertically challenged.
So, any questions? Because otherwise, oh, you have a question. Oh.
No, you go
Okay.
first.
I just wonder if you have any like ideas for a new book that's not involved like you left in her world.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on it currently. I just need more time. There aren't enough hours in the day. But yeah, when I'm not writing, I'm gonna be dead. So that's always happening.
No, I'm thinking about, I mean, the life as a writer. I mean, a normal day for you, and how do you do it when you write? Do you start with a blank paper, or how is your day, a normal day?
It's really fun being your own boss. It's also kind of difficult because you have to be your own boss. And so I wake up early in the morning. I'm a big morning person. I want to actually preface this by saying there is no wrong way to write a book. So please don't think that like anything that I'm saying here tonight is like the way that you need to do things, because it might not work for you at all, and maybe you have a better system. And if you do, maybe let me know, because I don't know if I'm doing it right. But I tend to work in very focused like bursts of time and concentration. Like when I'm seriously drafting, I sort of stop talking to people and like don't leave my room and drink lots and lots and lots of tea. And I just like wake up in the morning and I write all day, and then I go to sleep and I wake up and I write all day, and I go to sleep and I wake up. And I do that for a couple weeks, and then I just kind of collapse and take a shower. Because you know that's important. Being a writer is like a pants optional lifestyle, you know, you can stay at home, not wear any pants. You probably should wear some pants. And it's really great. You have a lot of flexibility, but you have to be your own. You have to be really good at managing your time. If you're bad about like deadlines, if you're bad about not being able to convince yourself to finish a book, it's a really good way to like start building some focus and, you know, create some deadlines for yourself before your editor does it for you. And I don't know, so like a typical day for me, it's very different. It depends on whether or not I'm drafting, it depends on whether or not I'm traveling. I travel a lot, which is great because I love to travel and I get to come to places like this and see you guys. And so sometimes that's happening, but mostly I'm like on Twitter all day and Tumblr, and I drink a lot of coffee, I hang out with other writers, and we write books. So it's nice. You should do that.